Hi there. Come on in, please take a seat. Okay, so my name's Jim. I'm in human resources. You may have heard of me from other people. I hope it's all good things. But today, basically what we're doing is, as part of your induction, your 3-month induction, we're going to be conducting a personality test. Now, I just want to make it clear that this personality test in no way affects your standing within the company, and it certainly doesn't affect our assessment of your role or how you're performing. The only aim of this test is to ensure that we can best place you within the company, whether that be in terms of the team that you're placed in or even the discipline that you're working under. Okay? So the test is very easy. It's just 1 or 2 answers to each question. It should take about 15 minutes or so. There aren't any right or wrong answers to the questions. So please don't think about them for too long. Just sort of go with what your gut tells you to. Okay? And also, it is worth remembering that it's not really about the way you want to be. It's about the way you are now. Okay? Now, the test itself is actually the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, which I'm sure you're familiar with. It's a Jungian system that was basically developed because we wanted to gain insights into different types of individuals and groups, because it's actually lots of tiny machinations that go into our decision-making process. And we wanted to better understand how those machinations work and how they interact with one another. There are 16 distinctive personality types that result from the interactions among the preferences that we'll go through. The first 2, so it's 4 letters, essentially. Okay? E or I, which is extroversion or introversion. And that's favourite world. So that basically means, do you prefer to focus on the outer world or your own inner world, or ideals and things like that. Okay. The next one is information, which is prefer focusing on the basic information you take in, or do you prefer to interpret and to add meaning to it? And those 2 letters are S for sensing or N for intuition. The next is decisions. So when making decisions, do you prefer to first look at logic and consistency, or first look at the people and special circumstances? So those 2 letters are thinking, T, and feeling, F. And then move on to the final one, which is structure. In dealing with the outside world, do you prefer to get things decided, or do you prefer to stay open to new information and options? So this is called judging, J, and perceiving, P. Okay, and so the end result will be a combination of those letters based on the answers to the questions. Yep. Okay. So what we'll do is, after we have completed the test, we'll take a little look at your result, and we'll just go through what that type means and what it will mean for the teams and things that you will be working with in this business. Okay? Right. So let's get started. Okay, so they are binary answers. It's essentially A or B. And when you give me the answer, I'll just circle it on the sheet, but try to be as quick as possible. Okay? And I'll read them quite slowly. And if you want me to repeat the question, that's absolutely fine too. Okay? So, question 1. At a party, do you A, interact with many, including strangers, or B, interact with only a few who are known to you? Okay. Are you more A, realistic than speculative, or B, speculative than realistic? 3. Is it worse to A, have your head in the clouds, or B, be in a rut? Okay, so is it worse to have your head in the clouds or be in a rut? Okay. 4. Are you more impressed by principles or emotions? Are you more drawn toward the convincing or the touching? Do you prefer to work to deadlines or just whenever? Okay. Yeah, I'm a whenever kind of guy. Do you tend to choose rather carefully or somewhat impulsively? At parties, do you stay late with increasing energy or leave early with decreased energy? Depends what kind of party it is, right? Are you more attracted to sensible people or imaginative people? Okay. Are you more interested in what is actual or what is possible? Okay. In judging others, are you more swayed by laws than circumstances, or circumstances than laws? So in judging others, are you more swayed by laws than circumstances, or circumstances than laws? Okay. In approaching others, is your inclination to be somewhat objective or personal? And are you more punctual or leisurely? Okay. Again, like I said, this isn't going to affect your position within the company. It is simply for our personality matrix that we'll use to place you with other people. Okay. Does it bother you more having things incomplete or completed? In your social groups, do you keep abreast of others' happenings or get behind on the news? In doing ordinary things, what are you more likely to do? Do it the usual way or do it your own way? Okay. Writers should say what they mean and mean what they say, or express things more by use of an analogy. Okay. Which appeals to you more, consistency of thought or harmonious human relationships? Sorry, which appeals to you more, consistency of thought or harmonious human relationships? Okay. Are you more comfortable in making logical judgments or value judgments? Okay. Do you want things settled and decided or unsettled and undecided? Okay. Would you say you are more serious and determined or easygoing? In phoning, when you're in the, do you rarely question that it will all be said or rehearse what you'll say? Okay. Facts speak for themselves or illustrate principles? Are visionaries somewhat annoying or rather fascinating? Okay. Are you more often a cool-headed person or a warm-hearted person? Okay. Is it worse to be unjust or merciless? Okay. There's quite a few more. Okay. Should one usually let events occur by careful selection and choice, or randomly and by chance? Do you feel better about having purchased or having the option to buy? Okay. In company, do you initiate conversation or wait to be approached? Okay. Common sense is rarely questionable or frequently questionable. Okay. Children often do not make themselves useful enough or exercise their fantasy enough. Okay. In making decisions, do you feel more comfortable with standards or feelings? Are you more firm than gentle or gentle than firm. Okay. Which is more admirable, the ability to organise and be methodical, or the ability to adapt and make do? Okay. Do you put more value on the infinite or open-minded? Okay. Does new and non-routine interaction with others stimulate and energize you, or tax your reserves? Okay. Are you more frequently a practical sort of person or a fanciful sort of person? Okay. Are you more likely to see how others are useful or see how others see? Okay. Which is more satisfying to discuss an issue thoroughly or to arrange at agreement on an issue? Which rules you more, your head or your heart? Okay. Are you more comfortable with work that is contracted or done on a casual basis? Do you tend to look for the orderly or whatever turns up? Do you prefer many friends with brief contact or a few friends with more lengthy contact? Do you go by facts or principles? Okay. Are you more interested in production and distribution or design and research? Okay. Which is more of a compliment? There is a very logical person, or there is a very sentimental person? Do you value in yourself more that you are unwavering or devoted? Do you often prefer the final and unalterable statement or the tentative and preliminary statement? Sorry, I'll repeat that. Do you more often prefer the final and unalterable statement or the tentative and preliminary statement? Okay. Are you more comfortable after a decision or before a decision? Okay. Do you speak easily and at length with strangers, or find little to say to strangers? Okay. Are you more likely to trust your experience or a hunch? Do you feel more practical than ingenious, or more ingenious than practical? Which person is more to be complimented, one of clear reason or strong feeling? Okay. Are you inclined to be more fair-minded or sympathetic? Is it preferable mostly to make sure things are arranged or just let things happen? In relationships, should most things be renegotiable or random and circumstantial? When the phone rings, do you hasten to get to it first or hope someone else will answer? Do you prize more in yourself a strong sense of reality or a vivid imagination? Are you drawn more to fundamentals or overtones? Which seems the greater error, to be too passionate or to be too objective? Do you see yourself as basically hard-headed or soft-hearted? Which situation appeals to you more, the structured and scheduled or the unstructured and unscheduled? Okay. Are you more of a person who is efficient than whimsical or whimsical than efficient? Are Are you more inclined to be easy to approach or somewhat reserved? In writings, do you prefer the more literal or the more figurative? Is it harder for you to identify with others or utilize others? Okay. Which do you wish more for yourself? Clarity of reason or strength of compassion? Which is the greater fault, being indiscriminate or being critical? Do you prefer the planned event or the unplanned event? And finally, do you tend to be more deliberate than spontaneous or spontaneous and deliberate? Okay, there we go. That's it. How did you find that? Yeah? Well, good. Well, I always think they're a lot of fun. I think that you can learn a little bit about yourself, and also when you go back into the office after we've gone through the results, you'll be able to tell everyone what you came out as and what that means, and you can all begin to judge each other drastically. But in all seriousness, it'll help us to better place you and make working here as pleasant as possible on your behalf. Okay? So let me quickly add up all the results. Okay, just take me a second. Okay. Okay. The results are in. So, you've actually come out as a very rare one, as it happens. Yeah, you've come out as ATKG. I know, it wasn't even in the description, but it actually stands for awesome, thoughtful, kind, and generous. And there's a little subnote with this type that says that you're going to be happy, which is nice, isn't it? It doesn't really help us with regards to where to place you in the business, but I mean, I guess that kind of means that you'll be able to work with anyone. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool too. And well done. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to just come and quickly do this with me. We'll send you an email about the results and exactly what they mean for you. But yeah, as far as you're concerned, you are ATKG. Awesome, thoughtful, kind, and generous. Pretty nice things to be. Okay, well thank you very much. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day and get lots of work done. Okay, see ya.